Hey guys, welcome to Coding After 30. I hope you guys having an awesome day today, staying, safe with all the stuff that's going on around the world. But in this video, I'm going to talk about having a portfolio and the type of projects you guys should be building. Now, before I get into what I'm doing for my portfolio, I just want to say when you're starting out and you're learning HTML, CSS, and then you're getting to JavaScript, because your knowledge is so limited, you might not be able to create a super awesome portfolio, but you do have to start making small little projects and things that you're working that you could showcase. And at the beginning, it might be a simple to-do list. It could be like a tic-tac-toe game. But I want you to know, even though that's where you're starting out, that is not enough to be able to land the job. You need to have a more flushed out project that's solving a problem that a hiring manager could look at and be like, okay, I get it. This is what they're trying to do. These are the technologies they're using, and I could see myself using that app. And unfortunately, with a tic-tac-toe app or a to-do list, you're not going to get that. So the project that I'm working for my portfolio is a time tracker app, which is very similar to Asana, if I don't know if you guys used it, or Toggle, where you're able to assign clients, then you're able to assign projects to those clients, you're able to assign individual tasks, and you're able to manage the amount of time you spend on those individual tasks. And in my app, my goal is to be able to create an automatically generated invoice that takes the time that I spent, fills in all the information, including the hourly rate that I set, and sends it to that client. Now that sounds like a huge undertaking, and it is. But the truth is, this app is going to have a front end, it's going to have authentication, it's going to have a database. So it's combined the full gamut of technologies that people use in real life applications. And it's a great way to showcase not only that I know how to code, but also that I understand how to combine many different aspects of web technologies into one integrated solution. And I'm not building all of it from scratch. That's one thing you also have to understand, that you don't have to recreate the wheel if the wheel already exists. So for your front end, you could use something like Bootstrap. For your back end, I'm using something called Strappy, which allows you to connect to a database, any database you want. In this case, I'm using MongoDB, and it allows me to have a nice back end where I could enter those projects from the back end, or I could enter them from my app. But the point is, don't have to understand what I'm talking about right now in terms of how it's done, but understand that that's something you have to work towards attaining as a knowledge. So you're just starting out and you're like, Paul, I can't build any of that stuff. And the truth is, I couldn't build any of that stuff either. And there's still a lot of the stuff I'm building for my app I still have to learn. But the point is, I have a Cornerstone project in mind that I'm working on. And the tip for this video, even though there's nothing wrong creating smaller little things like a to-do app, a tic-tac-toe game, what I would encourage you guys to do is create small little projects that you can actually eventually integrate into your time tracker app. So I'll give you an example. So I have a feature in my time tracker app, which is a clock, which allows you to start or stop, and it will keep track of the time spent on a given task. It will give you the total as well as the individual days and how much time you spend on any particular task. Now, a key feature of that is having a stopwatch. That's what it is. A stopwatch is something you click, and it basically counts the time spent from when you start to when you finish. It shows you that time, shows you the progress, and it's also able to save that for that particular day. So instead of trying to build all that at once, why don't I learn how to build a stopwatch? And so I understand how to work with time in JavaScript. So what I would do, and that's what I've done, I went to CodePen and I built a small stopwatch. And at first I didn't know how to do it, so I learned how to do it, and then I built a stopwatch. So now I understand how that works, and now I could integrate that knowledge into the bigger project. What I'm trying to stress is when you're working on little small projects, little things that you're building outside your tutorial, it should be something that you could eventually put together like Lego blocks, either from the knowledge gained or from actual components that you build, and to be able to put it into your Cornerstone app. because I can't stress that enough. Not having Cornerstone application or project that you build that not only showcases your coding, but solves a particular problem, and it's fleshed out enough that not only can you use it, but your friends could use it or a company could use it. Basically, you have to build production quality apps. They don't have to be perfect, but you do have to understand the whole approach to web development and how everything is stitched together to create the final product. So I know it sounds like it's a lot. And if you know this channel, I always tell you that web development or learning to program is difficult, but it's still worth it. I mean, the job that I have now, I'm so grateful and happy for it. Yeah, I'm not making my $100 bajillion, but the point is I have a job that is remote in one of the worst times in today, like with everything that's going on, and having this job security and having the ability to work remotely means so much to me, more than the money I'm making. And so if you want to develop that type of security, you want to develop high demand skills, you do have to put in your time. So don't give up, keep going. We all start with the first step, putting one foot after the other. And so when you're working and learning HTML and CSS, just build little things involving things that you learn, but just keep in mind that the things that you build should be helping you get to the final goal, having a cornerstone project that you could take to an interview and showcase. And that's one benefit of having an amazing portfolio project, because you could show up to an interview with your laptop, and instead of having the interviewee dictate what type of questions they ask, they'll probably ask you something you don't know. Instead, you could just talk about your app, and because you have it there, you could show them how it works, and you could show them underneath code that you wrote and how it applies to the technologies that you learn, which are exact technologies that the hiring manager is looking for. So with that being said, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. The whole point of this channel is not only for me to talk about stuff that I'm doing, but more importantly is to answer questions that you may have and really provide you real honest value of what it's like working in web development, especially when you are changing careers. And that's what this channel is about. It's more about people that are in their late 20s, early 30s, late 30s, and looking to switch the career. But if you're young and you're watching this channel, you're also going to get a lot of benefit, because you're learning things which are super important in the terms of not wasting time, because someone who's in their 40s and their 30s, they don't have time to waste. So if you're younger, go to college, get your CS degree, or go to a boot camp. If you really want to do a self-taught route, definitely do that. But if you're younger and you're able to, I would always recommend a CS degree or a college degree, just if the fact is that it's an amazing experience and the friends you make. But if you're older and maybe you're not able to go back to college, or spending 4 years on something sounds ridiculously like, man, in 4 years I'm going to be 48 or 44 or whatever it is, it's a huge investment. So something like self-taught route and a boot camp where you could get to a point within a year and a half to be able to get hired somewhere as a junior dev is amazing. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you decide to do a college degree, community college, or a boot camp or self-taught route, you still will need to have a portfolio piece, right? Even after your computer science degree, going to a company, if you don't have a portfolio piece, they're probably going to ask you a lot of algorithm questions. But if you have a portfolio piece that's substantial enough, you could talk about the code, you could show them that you know what you're doing, and solves a problem. A lot of times that's enough to be able to get that job. So again, thank you for watching. I love you guys all. I really appreciate the support, and I'll see you guys next time. I'm working on another cool video for you, but in the meantime, I wanted to make this quick video talk about building a portfolio. Anyway, just keep coding, make sure you spend the time, put in the time, and I'll see you guys next time.